I thought it was fitting for episode 1 to discuss a topic that I think a lot of people can relate to. And this is money tension in relationships and how our wealth perspective can affect that tension. Money tension happens not because people don't necessarily love each other, not because they don't care for each other, but when you bring two totally different perspectives into a shared household, it can be tricky. I was listening to a conversation between Michael Kitces and Dr. Daniel Crosby, who is a leading voice in the behavioral finance realm. And something Dr. Crosby said stuck with me. He said, couples don't usually fight over dollars, they fight over values. And when those values are invisible or go unspoken, they can run in the background of marriages and partnerships for decades until they bubble up as conflict. Today, I want to share with you 5 money perspectives that Dr. Crosby's research uncovers. As you listen, I encourage you to think about what you fall under or what your partner might fall under, and what does that mean for your financial journey together. So without further ado, let's start with the first, being communication. Some people are just direct money talkers, right? They're comfortable saying, let's sit down and look at the numbers. They might even enjoy those budget meetings for clarity's sake or control. Others might be more reserved. They grew up believing that maybe talking about money was impolite, or maybe they just avoid it altogether until it becomes unavoidable. And neither style is automatically better, which is a repeatable theme throughout these 5 money perspectives. But when one person equates talking with solving and the other avoids the subject until tension builds, well, you can see how misunderstanding creeps in. So maybe a takeaway here is just awareness, being aware of your default style, of your partner's. Simply being aware can do wonders. Then there's worry. We all know people who are higher on the worry scale, right? Market drops keep them up at night, insurance, savings, safety nets. It's always on their mind. And then there's people who are just naturally chill. They trust things will just work out. They don't sweat every market drop. And money feels like it should be enjoyed, not necessarily obsessed over. Worriers might be overinsured or overly conservative, but they provide stability. And the naturally chill or relaxed partners might undersave or miss real risks, but they can keep life lighter. And together they balance. So if you're in a relationship, think about it. Which one are you? And are you and your partner doubling down on one side, or do you balance each other? Now let's talk about time. And this is a big one, right? Is money for today, or is it for tomorrow? On one side, we have the YOLO camp, right? It's a beautiful day. Tomorrow isn't promised. Let's book that trip. Let's live now. On the other side, we might have the savers saying we need to be responsible, max out the 401k, build security, prepare for the future. And here's what Dr. Crosby found in his research that I thought was pretty fascinating. Not only do couples split on this perspective, but often they might judge the other side pretty harshly. The savers look at the spenders and maybe they say they're reckless, they're frivolous, they're being unserious. And on the flip side, the spenders might look at the savers and say they're boring, they're joyless, they're party poopers, right? Sound familiar? And of course, in reality, it's a dance. Couples are constantly moving between security and being spontaneous, trying to find that rhythm. And the challenge is making sure you don't drift too far to one side without the other side pulling you back in. Being aware of that. There's a great line from Carl Jung, and he says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. The fourth perspective is around individualism versus collectivism. And what I mean by that is some view money as an individual resource, right? I earned it. My first duty is to myself and my household. Others see money collectively. If my mom needs help, or if my sister is short on rent, I step in. This often maps across culture and gender. For example, Western men tend to lean more individualistic, and women in non-Western families tend to lean more collectivistic. And when these perspectives meet in a household, it can feel like you're speaking different languages. And taken too far, both sides can create problems. Right? Extreme individualism creates isolation. Extreme collectivism can leave you depleted. But when held in balance, generosity and self-responsibility can actually reinforce each other. Last but not least, the fifth perspective is the meaning or importance we put on money. For some people, net worth equals self-worth. Money is the scorecard. If they have $5 million, they're the $5 million guy or girl. And if it drops to 4.8, they feel like they lost a part of their identity. And for others, money is just a tool. It doesn't define them at all. Again, there is no right or wrong perspective, but it explains why some retirees struggle to spend. They just don't want to see the number go down, even though the whole point of saving was to enjoy it. After all, wealth should measure possibility, not identity, right? So let's recap. The 5 money perspectives are: number 1, communication, direct communicator versus indirect. Number 2 would be worry, high worry versus low worry. Number 3 is time, right? Today versus tomorrow. Number 4 is individualism versus collectivism. And number 5 is the meaning or importance we put on money, right? Is it a scorecard or is it more of a tool? Yes, we are all wired differently, and that's okay. The opportunity is to recognize those differences without judgment. Maybe the saver does need a nudge toward being more spontaneous, and maybe the spender needs reminders of security, right? The worrier keeps us protected. The relaxed partner keeps us sane. That's the beauty, the yin and the yang of life. When we stop trying to win and start trying to understand, money becomes less of a fight and more of a mirror, reflecting on not only all of the blessings you have, but more importantly, who you are becoming together.